Still alive. So that's progress.
So let's talk with
There
them
you are.
alone.
I have awaited your arrival with great anticipation. Come closer.
Gosh, you look so bloody. Garon shrugs and steps a little closer.
Feel my voice rattle your bones as I proclaim our victory. Moon Maiden Selûne, hear me. Ketheric Thorm, traitor, apostle of Merkel, is dead at last. My mate, Most High, darling Isobel, is safe and well. Safe and well, and returned to my embrace. Blessings upon the slayer of the Wicked One.
Aylin is so cool. I just really like her enthusiasm and energy and not holding back at all. I couldn't have done it without you.
We are a powerful party indeed. Faerun itself trembles at our touch. My darling Isobel says we will stay allied at your side. I am pleased to hear it.
Nice. See? Dream Guardian, we already got our new allies. There's still a great deal about you I don't know.
Pray, ask, and I will tell.
Are you... no offense, but are you really Selûne's daughter?
Do I not radiate with my mother's brightness, her glory? There can be no doubt. I am of her silvered flesh, her celestial womb.
Would your mother be willing to aid us in the fight against the Dead Tree?
Why, she already has. She has brought her sword to your side, Dame Aylin. So mighty are her wonders, her great wisdom. Together, we will set this fair land free of tyranny and murder.
Aylin is intense. And also, it has been quite a while since I heard anyone saying their own name with so much conviction. It's nice to see someone so hardcore who isn't a villain. Yeah, true. How did you come to be trapped in the Shadowfell?
Ketheric Thorm, father of my one and only love, enslaver of Dame Aylin. Ketheric Thorm never did trust me, even when he worshipped the Moon Maiden. He was threatened by my love for Isobel, by her love for me. When she died,
great.
curse the day, the hour. We each of us mourned bitterly, but Ketheric's pain could be touched by no aid, no boundary. He turned to wretched Shah, the Lady of Loss, for relief, and she whispered into his ear, poisoning his mind. He and his loathsome advisor Balthazar lured me into the Shadowfell, claimed they'd found someone in need of my aid. There, they trapped me in their infernal cage. I was killed, murdered, made dead over and over and over by justiciars of every make and kind. I was reborn, for it is my nature. And Ketheric fed upon my immortality all the while.
Oh.
But lo, the brute is dead, and we live!
Yeah, I don't even want to imagine how that has to be murdered over and over again and be trapped for a century. But interesting, that means that trapping her and also Ketheric furthering his own life through the Nightsong also was during Shah, not during Merkel. But didn't we learn that Ketheric was revived by Merkel in the end? Why did he need reviving if he was still bound to Nightsong? That I don't get. Anyway.
Be gone, friend. I have a darling to adore.
Interesting. Lots of new things. You seem to know things about Shadowheart. When will you tell her?
In due time. Mother Selûne will tell me when the time is right. Painful truths should be handled with some decorum.
I kind of wonder what would happen if we actually went through and, well, killed her. Like, how would Shadowheart's story continue in the thrall, being well, not a thrall, but kind of still a thrall, to Shah.
Begone, friend. I have a darling to adore.
Or do you intend to spend your newfound freedom?
I am free from my bonds, but not my duty. The dead 3 are risen. The dead 2 remain. You must face them. I will help.
The third dead 3 is dead. More than dead. You should join my PAM permanently. We can fight the powers of evil together.
Our thoughts are as one, my friend. You must face the chosen of Bane and Baal. I will do my part to see them laid low.
Nice. I mean, she was truly insane in the fight against Ketheric.
I can't believe it. I can't believe Aylin is here. And my father. I heard what happened. What he'd become. By killing him. You set him free. You set Aylin free. And me.
Aw. Do you remember that Isobel had this weird disease and she coughed always, and also said something about deep rot in her diary? I hope that that's gone with the death of Ketheric or freeing Nightsong. I don't know if there was something connected. You and Aylin seem to have a lot of history. What happened?
A great deal. But still, some of the details elude me. Ketheric Thorm was my father. He raised me to serve Selûne as my mother, rest her soul, had wished. He was everything to me, all my life. When an emissary of Selûne came to our little town, we were elated. Dame Aylin, daughter of the Moon Maiden herself. Tell me, do you believe in love at first sight?
Must be insane to me if you worship a deity and just her daughters coming along and visiting you. Oh hey Alistair, I'm sorry to hear that. Get well soon, I hope it's not too bad. But yeah, hope it helps. All the best. So, do we believe in love at first sight? And we can say the horny bard thing. Love, lust hourly. Nah. I would say Garon is actually kind of a romantic kind of guy. Certainly, there's magic in a look.
That's exactly it. And I tell you, I took one look at her and I just knew she was it. Lucky for me, she felt the same way. But my father was skeptical. Aylin is immortal, after all. I understand it's strange. There's an imbalance between us, certainly. But I suppose loving Aylin felt the same as loving myself. It was natural. Then... And this is where I still need answers. I died. I'm not sure how or why, but all was black. Next I knew, I was being jolted awake. I smelled musty air, I saw shadows. And then my father's face. So changed. So hideously warped.
Did he shout boo? He'd become the chosen of Merkul.
I didn't know that then. But I could see the change in him. He told me we'd be together now. Said that Aylin was dead. I couldn't speak. Could only run. I found last light within the shadows. Made a shelter there. Prayed my father wouldn't find me.
That's how she came to last light.
By the time Tahira came, I'd pieced together just enough to know I'd been dead 100 years. That my father was the source of the horrors plaguing this land. My home. I couldn't tell her who I was. I had to protect them. And myself. No matter what.
But I would say it's really understandable to lie about that, cause... I mean, in the end it doesn't really... I mean, for once, is it a lie? It seems more like a white lie. And I mean, it doesn't change anything. understandable.
It's all out in the open now. And with my father dead, I have nothing to fear. Except for Aylin. She needs healing, rest. I'm grateful for your help,
Therapy.
your friendship. I hope we won't intrude on your hospitality too long, but I'm grateful for a safe place to, well, just to be.
No. But I gotta say, I think in general in D&D it's also interesting to have the concept of very different life expectancies. Because I mean, well, Dame Aylin is immortal. I think that's like the most drastic contrast you can have. But even if you have like a human and an elf, like the elf can get centuries old, and well, the human probably won't pass his first century. And I mean, yeah, I think that might be challenging.
Path lies before me. Let's have a talk with everyone and see if they have something to say.
It's a quest to free Shadowheart's parents, is it? And here I was, worried I'd be the only one with a difficult family reunion waiting in the city.
Oh boy. I think, Azarian, you still win the worst family reunion. What do you intend to do about Cazador's ritual?
Before anything else, I need to know where it's happening. To the public, Cazador is an ordinary noble. A little reclusive, perhaps, but just another of the great and the good of Baldur's Gate. He has a grand palace on the hills of the gate, where he hosts the city's high society. I don't know if he performed the ritual there. It feels too public. He'd risk exposure.
The giant gothic monstrosity has been inhabited by vampires this whole time.
I know. Subtle, isn't it?
But maybe that's the trick. Cause you embrace the cliché so much, no one thinks it's actually that. We should ask around the city. Maybe someone's heard of something.
I hope so.
Let's press the
Because
right
I'm
one.
not striking another deal with Raphael. Knows what he'd demand this time. But if the citizens of Baldur's Gate don't know anything, my brothers and sisters might. Cazador is a master of secrets, but the other spawn must have seen something.
Yeah, elf-human relationships don't last long. They're usually just small trysts or lovers for a while. Yeah. I mean, looking at the campaigns I played or DM'd, there are some relationships. For people with very different life expectancies, but it is challenging. Especially if, like, yeah, one side grows old and needs to settle down, the other is still young and alive.
At least Shadowheart is armed with the truth now. May its keen edge draw forth whatever vengeance she desires.
Oh, Shadowheart.
Almost pleasant traveling with company. If you ignore all the less pleasant aspects.
But she seems a bit more settled. So I hope the healing begins. Yeah. Now a full Saluna cleric. The thing is, if I respec her, like, what would be a cool domain for that? Light? Or is light too obvious? For sorcerers, there's actually a lunar, so a moon subclass, which is really nice.
Poor Shadowheart. She's been jerked around so much. I want to believe the gods keep this world balanced, but sometimes Sometimes I wonder.
Life is also a good idea. And hey Luna, nice to see you. I hope you're well. Tell me more about your relationship with Gortash.
He got his claws into me early. I was a wild kid, brawling my way through the city. One of my mates got wind of a bit of work guarding some indoorsy type with lots of enemies. Seemed like easy money, so I went in for it. He took one look at me and said I was perfect. I like that. Not like that, you know. Just... It felt like a good
The other kind of
fit.
perfect.
I kept him safe, and he paid me well. Well enough to move my folks into a better neighborhood and put something away for the future. My future. I respected him, trusted him. And he returned that trust, that respect. His life was in my hands, and I took that seriously. The whole thing with Zauriel happened so fast. I had no idea what had gone down until it was over. One minute I was in Baldur's Gate, a happy, healthy, not quite kid. The next, I was burning up in Avernus with an engine for a heart. Zauriel laughed. Said she paid him well for my services. She'd wanted to test her new machine, and he said I'd be able to handle it. He was right. Sometimes I wish he weren't. Evil, evil bastard.
Oh, poor Karlach. I wonder if there's something in Gortash's life, like an event or something, like similar for, like for Ketheric with the death of his daughter, and first his wife, then his daughter, that changed him. Like if Gortash was at some point good or not as evil, and actually valued Karlach, or if it was always about Bane and about doing evil, getting power and everything. I was going to, why not resist Zariel, but yeah, she's a challenge rating 20, I'm sure. Yeah, I mean, she's an archdevil, and quite powerful.
Gods be damned. With that parasite in his brain, Father could wreak untold havoc in the Absolute's name. Should Baldur's Gate fall to the Absolute, every one of the coast cities will be ripe for the plucking. We're not just fighting for our cure, we're fighting for my father. We're fighting for the Gate. We're fighting for all of Faerun.
You're here. But I mean, the thing is, I'm not really sure like how much of their efforts are just Baldur's Gate. Because I mean, it would be smart to have like also some true souls in other cities. Could imagine that. And I mean, then it will be pretty fast. Especially because like Baldur's Gate is, I don't know. I don't know if it's the largest or the second largest city. I just know that Neverwinter, Waterdeep, and Baldur's Gate are the biggest cities, and Neverwinter is the smallest of the three. The Absolute Skulls have Ravengard. Where will they take him?
Worm's Rock Fortress. All travelers to Baldur's Gate flow through it. It serves as headquarters for the Flaming Fist, and their commander, my father. The Absolute's army's on the march. Gods forbid a tadpole Grand Duke throw open the gates for them.
And also command the whole city guard and everything. Ouch. What do you know about Gortash and Orin?
Orin? I'd never heard tell of. But Gortash I know. Or know of, more precisely. A self-styled strategic advisor to Baldur's Gate's peers. A bit player with dreams of a leading role, the way Father told it. He had no use for Gortash, and even less for his advice. I don't remember much beyond that. But where these Chosen are concerned, I have a suspicion we're about to know more than we'd like.
Mizora said you can say what led to your pact and exile. It's time to know the whole truth, don't you think? Yeah. Yes, but first, a question. If your home were under siege, What would you sacrifice to save it? I mean, for Garon, that's a very tricky question, because he doesn't really have a home. He was like born on Menzoberranzan as a slave, and, well, then always was traveling together with Aurora. But we just have like 3 options. We can say we could give our life for that. We can say a bit sassy, I wouldn't give up my soul, if that's what you're getting at. Or the place could burn to cinder for all I care. On the other hand, nah, I would say none of them is really fitting. My closest would be the first, cause like Garon would pretty much give up everything to keep people safe, but not like mattering if it's home or not. I'd give my life if it meant keeping the residents safe.
As would I. And more. I was 17. Father, older Ravengard, had just been named a Grand Duke and was called away to Elturel to help settle a dispute. That's when the cult of the dragon made its move.
The cult of the dragon, a fractured religion. Some believers hold that undead dragons will inherit the world. Others worship the dragon goddess Tiamat and intend to summon her to Faerun.
There's actually a whole 5e campaign about that, Tyranny of Dragons. Never played that though. If you played it, is it good? Can you recommend it? Tiamat the bitch. Yeah, Tiamat is the goddess of all chromatic dragons and very chaotic evil. And actually also living in Avernus. And as we know, Black have striked a deal with her, so... The cult of dragon had infiltrated Baldur's Gate. To what end?
To conjure the Dragon Queen and lay waste to Baldur's Gate. A 10-day after Father left, I heard a whisper as I slept. Duskhawk Hill, the Queen of Chaos awakens. Go alone. I grabbed a rapier and set out. There wasn't a cloud in the sky, yet not a single star was shining. There they were, gathered at the foot of the hill.
Your head tingles. Will wants to show you what happened.
Going alone always sounds very risky. Garon allows Will to share his memory with him.
In the looming shadow of the mount, 5 groups of 5 figures each encircle a lofty totem. Atop each totem, a dragon's head is carved, and a massive orb held in its mouth. The cultists chant, first softly, then crying to the starless sky. There is a crack of thunder, a gust of wind, and a dragon's white head appears in the storm. As the maelstrom howls, Mizora's lips press to your ear. She will destroy Baldur's Gate. Grant me your soul, and I will give you the power to save it, she whispers.
She read the terms while 2 devils stood witness, and I said yes. 1 soul for 1 city.
Probably it was in Mizora's interest to save Baldur's Gate, so it was win-win or something like that. Surely Mizora doesn't care about Baldur's Gate. Why would she want to save it?
She didn't. She came on order of her mistress, Zariel. Tiamat made a play for power. Zariel had other plans. That was the most Mizora's ever said. All that mattered was that she got her prize. Another pet added to her warlock menagerie.
You took on 25 cultists on your own. I find that hard to believe.
I had Mizora at my side, and the archdevil Zariel guided our hands that day. I burned with the fires of Avernus and oozed the rot of Dis.
Quite a lot of power,
The
definitely more
cultists
than a level
choked
1
on our
warlock.
poisons and burned from our flames. And when we were done, all that remained were 5 greyed orbs atop a pile of ash. My soul was bound, and my lips were sealed.
Is that how you lost your eye in the battle with the Cult of the Dragon?
It is the one scar I ever bore of it. Mizora replaced it with a sending stone. She uses it to track my location and speak from a distance. I could flee to the spine of the world, or the depths of the lower dark, and still never shake her.
And I wonder if you can see through it, or if it's just a sending stone. But I think just seeing from one eye, so having no depth perception in any way, wouldn't be that great for a fighter. And what about your father, the Grand Duke?
He returned to an unsuspecting city and a wayward son with a smirking devil at his side. I tried to tell him the truth, but my mouth couldn't form the words. I'd led him to the battlefield, but Mizora had swept it clean. I showed him my stone eye, but he only turned away.
Oh.
After, he said only one word. Go. So I did.
Ouch. That's not very much compassion for your own son or anyone. Especially if you know him like your whole life. Like, do you really think he would just do it for nothing? It was maybe not the smartest thing, but it was brave what you did for the city.
I don't know that it was brave. I just know that it was right. I understand.
You must have been furious at your father for throwing you out of the city, right?
No, never. He did the only thing he could. In his eyes, I invited a devil into our midst. I was a fool at best, a traitor at worst, and Grand Duke Ravengard suffers neither.
Still sounds very harsh. Very dutiful, but harsh. Do you miss your father?
More than you know. The better question is, did he ever miss me? If he did, he missed the Will Ravengard he once knew, not the hell-touched warlock he returned to.
Oh. Poor Will. Did we talk with Lae'zel?
Shadowheart was no true child of Shah, merely a captive. She must have her vengeance.
Aww. I really like how the Shadowheart Lae'zel relationship turns from killing each other to kind of being supportive. Maybe a bit like siblings. Like still bickering each other, but when shit goes down, they support each other. Okay.
Wits and blades, always sharp.
I think I will reclass Shadowheart, so let's go.
I must keep going.
Where is Withers? And we can still talk to Jaheira. Maybe let's do that first.
These things have stayed interesting.
How does being a warlock means you're a traitor?
Can't slow down.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, of course, like, what he saw was that he's a warlock of a devil. And I think that was enough to see it as treason. But yeah. The thing which surprises me is, especially if it's someone you know for a long time.
I would not linger in this land over long, but...
Or who's even your own family. Wouldn't you, like, stop and try to think about, like, what could be the reason for that? Could it be a good reason? I don't know.
I guess I can take care of myself. I mean, I've gotten this far.
Oh. Let's hope Arabella
Danny.
will fare well. Curious to see if we will see her again at some point.